그거랑 내 As you walk on your journey towards spirit, either to connect with spirit for the joy of some modality that you are wishing to learn and develop, or to walk towards spirit with the intention of finding unity with spirit or with your God. There are many times that your egoic nature will begin to build and offer resistance to your journey and say that this is too difficult or hard, or this is not the right path for me to take. But as you walk this path, and as you get further along with the path, the important part becomes the building of love and peace within your being. Even if the door to spirit is closed, which I'll explain in a story in a moment, you should still have love and peace within your heart. So if you are learning to practice a modality and you find that this work is not possible, or it's too difficult, or not happening at this moment, have love and peace in your heart. You see, if you have fear and anger and frustration, this is the very thing that will firm the door, put a barrier across the way, rather than softening the doorway. And as you go further on your path, you realize building love and peace was the merger with spirit. So there was a holy man that gave a sermon every week to whoever wishes to attend. And each week at the same time, the disciples would come along and enter the hall and listen to the man speak. But one day they turned up at the hall and there was a sign, "No audience today." Many of the disciples turned and walked away, but a few sat at the door with love and peace in their heart. And in a short while, the door opened, and the wise man would lecture to those that were in attendance. The Lord cannot resist anyone with love in their heart. And the practice of your modalities should have love within your heart. And then it is only a matter of time that you begin to feel the connection of your guide or of spirit, of the relative, or of the creator, starting to build around you. It is one that sits in love and peace. That in doing so little achieves so much. So hence there are temptations as you walk your path to fall off the path, to divert, to change, to go in another direction. Many times this is just the voice of the ego having resistance to the path that is being taken. Be like the disciple and sit with love and peace at the door, and I assure you it will open in time. In a moment, we will begin our talk as we explore this a little further, but the talk will be part of the series of talks on energy that we will begin with. But before we commence that, may I have the healing list now, please, Brandon?
Yes, we'll start with Steve and Denise Wareham, Rose Frazier, Bob and Doris, Erica, Mary, Joe Frederick, Lita Maltabano, Cassio, Fabio, Angela, Christina de Toledo, Pisa, Taylor, Anna, Sonia, Jeanette, Jason and Belinda, Teresa, Chris and Howard, Rhonda, Liz, Mike Eskins, Mauve Norton, Jetta, Tracy, Eric, Stephen Matthew, Marianne and Jody, Jill, Katie, Mitch, Louise and John, Matt S., Priscilla and her sister, Janet and Michael and Mike Pizzuto and their son Nick, dogs Parker, Paisley and Jules, our friend Lori, Lorna, Courtney, Justin, and Mira. Thank you.
Wherever you go through life, whatever you face, whatever triumphs or disasters you must deal with, whether you live in one country or another, whether you are in the hot or the cold, or the low or the high, you cannot avoid the three aspects of man: the physical, the subtle, and the causal. The physical means your physical body, the physical world. The subtle, the mental world, the realm of mind. And the causal, the world of soul before it goes deeper into spirit. All three are present with you all times. But one, of course, may dominate the others for a short period of time. So you may be dominated today more by your physical world, and tomorrow maybe more by your mental world. But each level is more lighter in terms of its weight than the predecessor, but a higher vibration than the level below. So the mind is more subtle. Hence it's called the subtle world than the world of the physical. So as you are dominated by each of these areas, then you will find that the influence into your life is very different to those which are governed by the physical world, have pleasure and desire firmly within their view, their plan, their strategy. They live just for the moment, act on instinct, get rewards for today and not tomorrow. They seek the satisfactions of the body and dread the fear and the pain and the death of the body. The subtle world, of course, is mental. And the mental world then plans what it must have, makes strategies for the future, sees that it will have some gain, makes effort in certain ways to get rewards. I will do this because I will get that. I will save $1 because one day I need $10. This realm can be governed by fear. Fear for not having enough time. Being limited by action. Requiring of itself to do and work to be done for future rewards. But the causal sees a far bigger picture. A picture where life is seen in more totality. There is not limitations of either body or mind. There is no fear of death, because the causal world is never born. It exists in stillness and purity and with awareness. The awareness of this world is the awareness to watch. It is the world of light. And it never dims the light, although the being can perceive a dimness to it because it is covered by the other realms. So one who meditates uses different energy, and the energy becomes more subtle. And the blockages to the light gradually become dusted away. So the physical world of darkness to the dawn and dusk within the subtle world and the bright light of midday in the world of course. And you can see this in people's sleep. When you are driven by your physical body, in your sleep or your sleep time, you may have 8 or 10 hours, and still that is not enough. You want more. You have difficulty getting out of bed. And if you have 8 hours, you want to rest still further in the afternoon. All sleep is no more than a rest of the body. But within the being, there is a desiring for more energy, which is never placated. Now, the subtle world, in its rest, will have sufficient sleep, but at times wakes up a little foggy, and then will conduct its activity with plans and trepidation. It can be overactive, and sleep can be disturbed. You may get a few hours, then wake, and then sleep once more. But those that meditate not only gain additional energy that is beyond the physical world, but find that their sleep changes, and just a few hours is more than sufficient, because they have learned to access energy that is not of the physical world. So they recharge just a glimmer, then access the light. Now you can see this in your life. You can see within your life, are you a physical person, a mental, or something else? If your sleep is disturbed, you are operating with the stresses of mind. If you have insufficient sleep, then you are working with the desires of the body. In both ways, you change action into peace with meditation and with awareness. The important part is to be aware of the energy or lack of energy that you have. To be aware that your energy is heavy, is body related, or is quite agitated and mind related. And if you are aware and you notice this as I pointed out, you have the option to change. When stress is raging through your mind, the act of awareness at least is the start that gives the impulse to change. To those that meditate, build up serenity, build up peace, build up energy around them. And then they can fall or go beyond the limitations of the physical world. So you see, you are in charge of the flow of energy. You allow a little bit from the world unseen through the physical body, or you do not. So the act of meditation is healthy for the body, as it gives us the true energy that it requires, the rest that it needs, the ability to heal and fight illness and disease. It will limit the aging process. No need for medication or surgery with this. Those that meditate look younger. Body behaves far more naturally, and the stresses of life are dealt with far quicker and easily. So it begins with bringing the awareness to where you are. Which of these realms is governing your life today? Which one is limiting the energy potential? So this is why you should set your intention, make your plan, and then surrender. In surrendering, you bring more energy into your plan, rather than the stresses of life bringing fear and doubt. You have within you and around you a limitless source of energy. And that limitless source is given to you freely. It is not something you have to buy. It is something you need to allow. So in your, if you wish, your homework, or within your day or your week, where are you operating from? From the dense or to the light? There is darkness with body, and there is light with spirit. Let the light flow. So let us explain this in another way. The path of three, the Father, the Holy Spirit, and the Son. The Son, of course, is desiring to merge and to meet the Father. And begins the journey, but cannot go direct to the Father, but must pass through the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is represented within your physical world. You could say this is Kali, the creator and the destructor. Kali being the equivalent of Shiva. And his consort, Shakti. So you must merge with the physical world, not by trying to control it, but by going through it. If you can see that your energy is being controlled by the physical world, then you can open yourself up to it and be at peace with the physical world. and the son will merge with Shakti. And together they will walk towards their father. This is the triad of creation. If you would like, it is the physical world joining with the subtle world, coming to the world of causality. Shakti is sometimes referred to as Ma or Mother, Mother Nature. It is the Leela, the play of the Creator that you are mixed up in, or so it perceives. Now, interestingly, those who are coming to the spirit-led talks will understand this word Ma and what is beyond the world of light, Ra, the bringing together of light and creation to create the physical name and form of God. In this case, Rama. So let us change this very slightly. Whenever you can bring full awareness and attention, you can do it right now. Just be aware. Just for a few seconds, have awareness. Let the thoughts go. Let the mind, as best as possible, be clear. Have no desires and offer contentment only. And you'll notice that through the heart, with complete attention, there is love. Attention, when clear, reveals love. So what does all this have to do with your spirit connection? When there is darkness, let your mind be still and have awareness. Bring the awareness into your heart. And then there is love, or if you prefer, light. So you can change the way you look at your world from a world of darkness to a world of love and light by bringing awareness through your heart. So you can change your world from the world of physical form into the world of formless by bringing awareness through your heart. You can sit at the door of the hall, which says, no audience today, with awareness and love in your heart. And as I said, the door will have no choice but to open in time. Now, for some of you, I am sure you are thinking this is rather deep and complex. But it is no more than you changing from your physical form to your true self. From the world of your arms and legs to the glowing light and endless energy of love. And I'm sure you would all say to me, well, that sounds rather wonderful. If I can tap into this unlimited love and light, I can leave all my fears and troubles behind. The stresses, the doubts, the problems with body. And indeed you can do this. You step across the veil by becoming still and allowing the energy to come through you. Michelangelo, on the wall or the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, through the finger of God reaching out to the finger of man. Man must make just a little effort to turn his head in that direction, and all that is God will be given to him. But unless you sit in silence, it begins with 10 seconds. That is all. Unless you sit in silence, and what God has to give to you will pass you by because you will be unaware of it. So let me tell you a story from the Bible, as we do not seem to use the Bible quotes quite so often. I believe this is Luke. From the King James Version. A father had 2 sons. And he decided one day to split the money that he had and give it to his 2 sons. The first son took the money and went off into town. And in town, then chased all the pleasures of body that he could find, and wasn't heard of. He contacted or did not contact his family anymore. The second son stayed with his father and worked on the farm long and hard. From dawn to dusk. And one day, the forgotten son in the town realizes he has made a mistake and has sinned beyond measure, and decides to go back to his family and ask forgiveness. And as he was walking along the path towards the house, the father saw his forgotten son and runs out to meet his son and orders the fattest calf to be cooked for dinner. And he greets this son with such pleasure and joy. As he comes back penniless and saying, "Father, I have sinned, I have forgotten." But he is welcomed with an open heart. Now the second son sees this and says, "Father, I have worked day and night for you. I have given you everything, and yet this brother of mine wastes his time and money and turns his back on you and the family. Why do you welcome him so?" And the father says, "My son, all that I have is yours. But do you not see? The son that was dead is now alive. The one that was lost in darkness has come home to the light." Wherever you are, whatever you do, and whatever you have done, come home to the light. Come home to spirit. This is your home. You can never negate that. We sit in spirit to welcome you by the hour, by the minute, every day, every month, every year. You are not forgotten to us, no matter how lost you think you are. The important thing is you come home to the light. So do a little experiment and find out if what I am telling you is true or not. First, be aware of what your energy is like. Are you caught in the physical, the mental, or somewhere else? If you wish to change, then you know the way to do that. And the experiment is bring your awareness to your heart and let your heart open and release the love that is there and become loving awareness. That is your light. That is your birthright. That is the uncovered nature of your true self Where is your energy now? Let us continue these talks on energy next week. But I ask you to remember the words. Discover where your energy is now and the rest of this week. And bring awareness and love to the doors of the hall. And just sit and wait. And the doors will open. God bless you all. Till next week.